Hey friends, it's so good to see you. It's me, Christiana Gaudet, your tarot fairy godmother, and it's Thursday. That means it's time for the Tarot Topics Weekly Newsletter Recap. Tarot Topics comes into your inbox on Wednesday, and if you didn't receive it, there is a link right in the description to subscribe and also to read it on my website. If you ever don't get it, you can just go to my website. It's always on the website as well. So it's a different topic every week, hence the title, Tarot Topics. We come on here on Thursday and do readings about whatever the topic is. So this one is a really interesting one. And it was born of a very innocent conversation between my husband and myself, where I was wearing a beaded necklace, not this one. This is also a beaded necklace that I did not make, but it was my mother's, and I do really like it. But I was wearing a beaded necklace I had made, and it just wasn't right. And I couldn't figure out what wasn't right about it. So you can't, something like that, you got to ask the engineer, right? So I asked John, I was like, what's up with this? And what he said to me is it's not hanging right. And he explained why it wasn't hanging right. And he said, and I knew that was the issue, it was not hanging right. He said, the universe loves spirals. And explained to me why my necklace was doing this thing that I didn't want it to be doing. So, and of course, I'm like, the universe loves spirals. That is the most beautiful, beautiful thing, man, you know? And that's me, right? Don't bring me flowers, right? Just say something like that. So I run in, I write it down, and that became our newsletter. So the truth is, I'm not a math person. I understand, I knew enough in that moment to be like, oh yeah, the Fibonacci sequence, the golden mean, all of that, smile knowingly, but I don't know a lot about the math. But here's what I do know. That the idea that spirals show up in so many things, from the fingers that we have to galaxies, flowers, plants, animals, we see it everywhere. It means something. And I think something that is so present around us obviously has a meaning, right? It means something. And there's something there, there's a value there. And so when we think about how do we work with the symbol of the spiral, well, in our modern language, when we say we are spiraling, we're always thinking about that looping thought that doesn't just circular. It's not just a circular thought because it takes us down. We spiral down with that thought. Spiraling up is much harder, but it's possible. And in the newsletter, I gave an energetic exercise and a tarot spread for how to spiral up instead of down. So that's what we're here to talk about. Obviously, that gives you a lot of room for whatever kind of question you want to ask. Go ahead and ask, and let's do some readings. As you can see, I have chosen my very beat up World Spirit Tarot for today. This is old. This deck is in print again. This was the Llewellyn edition, first edition, not available from Llewellyn anymore, but available in a new edition from the artists themselves as an indie publication. Oh, Trey, that would have been so smart. I should have used Spiral Tarot today. Duh. I'm going to argue Spiral Tarot doesn't have enough spirals. I was thinking about that. I love Spiral Tarot. You know I love that deck. And I should have. That would have been the most obvious thing. Now I'm feeling silly and I'm wondering if I can find it real quick, but I can't. And I chose this. And I'm going to argue to this day, I think Spiral Tarot doesn't have enough spirals. There you go. Although I love the deck. But yeah, you're right. I should have done. All right, here we go. First question I see. Yeah, I love this deck too. It's a great deck. It's a great deck that is not shuffled properly. Give me a minute. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. Oh my goodness, Liz, there was a period not too long ago I constantly dreamt of a spiral mountain. That is so cool. That is so cool. All right, here we go. Take these in the order in which I see them. Jeannie Mnuchin, thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. I think of spirals as something emerging and transforming along a curved path. What in my life is emerging and transforming? Ooh, nice way to set a tone. Well done. Good question. What in your life is emerging and transforming? So weirdly shuffled here, but yeah. All right, here we go. So one thing that has been transforming and whatnot emerging has been the need to be patient and wait, which is hard. And that's been true really through COVID. So that's a tough one, but it has a spiritual value because in that time of waiting, there is internal transformation. So the other thing that is transforming is your ability to use your voice. And I think a lot of that has to do with stink bug, just as sort of this literal masterpiece. And so using your voice. And Jeannie, the other thing that is emerging and transforming is your success. And I think that's an interesting transformation here, interesting transition from the Hanged Man, where we're kind of waiting. Here, we're using our voice, and here that brings us to success. So that's beautiful. Arbova, so nice to meet you. Just came across you scrolling. Love your energy. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Please feel free to ask a question. The Sybil. Sorry, the Sybil is the queen. So nurturing your voice, nurturing your message. All right. Trey Cameron, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. I feel like I'm in an upward spiral at the moment. Nice, nice. But sometimes I'm worried that I'm just being delusional. I get it. I get it. You know, and it is true. And I do run into people who are positively deluded. Like, what do I mean by that? Like people, I'll give you an example. A person who has a great idea for a whole platform that they're going to build, a spiritual platform. It's an app. It's a thought, like it's a whole new thing, right? It's a whole new process that I'm building. But I start with the merch, and I want to sell the merch with the name of this process that no one knows. I'm going to sell the merch first, and the merch is going to be really popular and is going to sell and is going to help me fund the platform. The person who believes that that's really going to work and that's a really good business plan is deluded. And how do you tell him that? How do you tell them that? But welcome to my world. Like that is the kind of thing that I see a lot. Right. Very naive and wacky. And I share that with you, Trey, because I want you to see the difference. I want you to see the difference, and everybody, because we all wonder when we're on to something good, especially something of our own making, of our own creation. When we're on to something good, it is so easy to be in that place of saying, maybe I'm just delusional. I shared an example of how delusional thinking looks to me so you can see the difference. All right. Gianna, that's so good. Right, Trey, you're not that bad. Right. I am going to do the reading. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat. Yeah, no, you're not that bad. No, you're not. All right. Trey's upward spiral. What do the cards have to say about Trey's upward spiral? Damn straight. Ignore it. This is the image we all laughed at, and it's been replaced in the new version of this deck, which is, by the way, Wendy, World Spirit Tarot. This is the first edition published by Llewellyn. The new edition does not have this image, thank goodness, and is indie published. But exactly, Trey, it doesn't get better than the sun, right? Your confidence is appropriate. Your confidence is appropriate. Sometimes you are not confident. But right now, your confidence is appropriate. The seer is the page. So Page of Pentacles, you are learning your craft and doing it and are appropriately confident. So yeah, the upward spiral is real. And Arbova, I will tell you that although I think most people here would agree with you, we don't really talk politics here, so everyone can feel safe. But I see it, I agree with you, and I think most people would also agree with you. Yeah, the seer is page, the seeker is knight, the sibyl is queen, and I forget the king, but we'll see it. Right. Wendy, that's because you're seeing the first edition. Find the indie edition. You're not going to find it on Amazon. Right? It's out of print. This is out of print. Okay. So you have to look on like Etsy or just Google, and I think you'll be able to find it, the new edition. All right. So, Trey, your upward spiral is appropriate creatively and emotionally and spiritually. It's happening. It's real. Caroline McLaughlin, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members-only emojis. I have been in a downward spiral. I have been wondering, just because of the way your cards have been coming up of late, I've been wondering exactly this. Excuse me. But over the last few days, I have felt an upward spiral happening. Hallelujah. There you go, Wendy. Found it on Etsy for $50. There you go. That's the one. That's the one. Okay, so Caroline, what do we see about that downward and now maybe upward? The thing is, there are some real things that you are dealing with that are difficult, and those are real. And how you handle those and interact with those and deal with those will depend on how your energy is. And I think sometimes, like when you let the things that are real get too big in your mind, that's when you spiral down. When you let the things that are real have their appropriate space in your mind, that's when you start to move up. So it's about recognizing that there are some very difficult real things, but how much weight are you going to give them? Give them too much weight, spiral down. Give them the right amount of weight, up we go. There it is. All right. Let's see, who is next? No. 64 Amy Penn. I'm always in a downward spiral. What do the cards have to say about that? Sage is the king. I knew we'd figure it out. It's because you kind of aren't shepherding your emotions. Like on one hand, we need to feel what we feel, but we can't live there. Like we have to acknowledge what we feel, and then we actively have to get in there and reframe and create perspective so that we are not spiraling. And I think you could be doing more of that. Oh, Arbova, is that a question for the cards? It could be if you want it to be. It sure could be. Okay, not frozen on my end, LP. What do you call that? Refreshing. Try refreshing. All right. Yeah. Oh, Rebecca, the spiral spread in the newsletter. Thank you for that. Yeah, I like that one too, actually. Yeah. All right. Wendy, here we go. I feel like I'm coming out of my downward spiral and going back up. Yes. What does Spirit say about this, and how can I do better? I'm glad you're here. Well, yeah. And I mean, you almost got fully sucked back in to a thing that you had previously escaped. So that is true. That is all freaking true. And from that, you learn a lot. You know, you learn about how you give other people's wisdom value over your own. How you let other people manipulate you with guilt. And in your decision to never let that happen again, you take a great step forward. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh, Caroline, yes, so real. Thanks so much. Yeah, I appreciate you too. Absolutely. Okay. Vaishali, so good to see you. So Vaishali, I know you well enough to know how you spiral and to know that your anxiety spirals you into this space where you cannot, how shall I say it? You cannot function the way you want to function sometimes. And when we look at that right now, it makes you feel like a loser when in fact you're a winner. And that's the thing. As long as you can remember you're a winner and what you're doing is winning at something, as long as you can remember that, you're going to be fine. LP, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. May I ask, when will I spiral upwards again? Definitely feel the downward spiral needs to end for me and things need to be easier. Fair. And the thing is, like, we cannot always have control over how to make things around us easier. All we can do is not tie a metaphoric bowling ball around our neck by the way we're thinking about things. You see what I'm saying, right? So let's see. Oh, Melissa, I just skipped right over you going to LP. I'm going to go ahead and do LP, and then I'll come back to you, Melissa. Okay. So, LP. Okay, let's just face it. Your life will feel so much better as soon as you have a partner. Like, that's the thing that could make your life easier quickly. I would also say, though, working on self-esteem and getting rid of negative self-talk would also help. And just remember who you are and heal from the trauma of the past. And I think really that's it. I think you make your life harder with negative self-talk. Be open to new love as well. Melissa, it is so good to see you. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years, and thanks for using members-only emojis. Great newsletter. Thank you. As always, it resonated very strongly. I definitely feel like I'm on a downward spiral with everything going on at work and with my family's lack of a reaction. I'm going to rephrase that for you. Your family's lack of support. That's the word. I'm not trying to be a bitch. Y'all get my full face for this. This is not just you, Melissa. This is a lot of people. This is something like, It's a shock if I'm not having this conversation with someone at least once a day. And it's not always around politics. It can be about a lot of things. And here's the thing. We are raised to believe that family needs to be a certain way. And when family is not that way to us, we still believe we need to be that way with them, and it's worse. And it could be family, it could be your husband, it could be your best friend, right? If we are being abused, our abuser has to be close enough to us to be able to abuse us. And so we never want to see it, and we never want to call it what it is, because then we have to fully wrap our brain around the fact that that person who is supposed to be our mother, father, aunt, uncle, husband, lover, friend, whatever, is our abuser. And now we see it, we have to react to it. We have to do something about it. And that thing that we need to do about it, like what we really want to do is go to that person and sort of say, I don't want you to abuse me. I don't want to be neglected. I don't want to be abused. I want to be treated the way you should treat me. But if they haven't already done that, they're never going to do it. And so we dance around it. We don't call it abuse. We don't call it lack of support. We don't call it neglect. We dance around it because we don't want to see it for what it is, because it's really painful. But until we see it for what it is, we're going to stay in that pattern of keep going back and looking for a different reaction and looking for something different. That's why, like, I've seen it over and over again. I'm sure you've seen this too in families. The kid who is most abused, the adult child who was most abused in the family system, is going to be the one who sticks around to take care of the elderly parents, 9 times out of 10. Right, it's the black sheep that calls it out, right? Jolie James, it's time for us to call a thing. Right, there it is. So thank you for this moment. Here we go. Let's do the reading. And it's Melissa stealing Jeannie's great question. What in my life is emerging and transforming? Here we go. Joyce Ocean, you've made it to 2 years, yeah. Oh, Vaishali, you said a very important thing. I never thought it like this. It changes the whole perspective of viewing things. Nice. And Jolie James, that was needed for all of us. I thought maybe. Joyce Ocean, I agree with that full face message. Right, we should do this, right? This has been a full face message. But yeah, there it is. There it is. And I do it that way because the full face message is not just for the individual, it's for everyone. And we're grateful to the individual for bringing it up. Right. When I go full face, I am standing on business for sure. Right. Every person that I know to have a specific family story is kind of coming in. Much needed. Yeah. Okay. Melissa, here we go. What in your life is emerging and transforming? Well, exactly this. Exactly mofoing this. Exactly this, Melissa. Because as much as this is incredibly painful, if you don't see it, you won't be able to fully see yourself. And that's the thing. When we look at, it's only going to take one card to do this reading. Sometimes it takes 5, sometimes it takes 1. But Melissa, when we look at sort of these big questions in your life, these questions of like, why, when you are so freaking good, like those of you who know Melissa know what I'm talking about. Those of you who don't, let me just lay it out for you. She is one of the smartest, kindest, most beautiful inside and out people that you would ever meet. Multi-talented, incredibly generous, hardworking, in a very good job, travels the world, and takes good care of the people she cares about. Like that's Melissa. That's who she is. But here's the thing. You can't fully be all of that. I'm ahead of myself. Here's the thing. We wonder why, when you've got all of that going on, why, sorry, Melissa. Melissa's like, dang, waterworks. With all of that objectively true about you, see, now you're going to make me cry. Why the F are you not in the perfect job, in the perfect relationship? Why are you not as perfectly happy as a person could be on this planet? Why are you not? Well, it's because you have to call the thing the thing. You have to see what is really real and call it out for what it is and recognize that no matter what you do, your family will not see you. Your family will not see you. And you are a survivor of this genteel form of abuse. Yes, you ate every day. Yes, you have, there are people who are abused worse than you. Yes. But that does not mean that abuse isn't abuse. It's not a contest. And so to acknowledge it, and whether you acknowledge it with them or not, does not matter. Does not matter. You have to fully acknowledge it with yourself. Then you will fully see yourself, and then others will fully see you, and then you will be fully in the life you want to be in. Remember us when you get there. Right. And Wendy says, I totally get that, Melissa. My family is the same. Yeah, this is unfortunately a common story. But I swear to goodness, whenever you see a really great person not where they want to be in life, 9 times out of 10 or better, this is the backstory. All right. And that's me being a shithouse psychologist for sure, but that's what I see. All right. Let's all get our tissues and move on now. I never make you cry without crying myself, I'll tell you that. Okay, baby cakes. So good to see you. Spirals and circles, great topic. Up or down, around and round it goes. Am I on the upward or downward, and how do I improve it? All right, here we go. I think you're on the upward, and you improve it by recognizing that you're on the upward. One thing I recognize about you, baby cakes, is that you can have a tendency to spiral about a particular thing. Like this particular thing happened, it should not have happened, and it's going to give me a bad day. It's going to give me a bad week. Oh my gosh, what terrible luck. How could this have happened? And objectively, if it sucks, it sucks. It really does. But I think you're getting much, much better, and I think this really serves you at seeing the wins, at taking the wins, and in allowing yourself to have a good day even when something bad happens. And there's nothing better than that to bring you up. And here's the interesting thing. When we talk about law of attraction, and like I will be the first one to look at you kind of cross-eyed or, side-eyed, that's the one, to give you the side eye if you come on too much with the law of attraction, because it has a statute of limitations big time. But there is a truth, baby cakes, here, and I think you're working it. The baby cakes truth, the truth that I think is happening for baby cakes is as you become more positive, you do attract more positive things to you. And I think you're really going to be seeing that in the coming weeks and months. Mediha Ness, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. We appreciate you. Thanks for using members-only emojis. My life seems to be spiraling out of control in directions unknown. Where is it going? What can I do? How can I make the best of it? All right. It's a 3-card reading. I love it when y'all create a 3-card spread for me. Okay. Where is it going? I think you still have a lot of opportunity to control where it's going. We don't know where it's going. It is going to parts unknown. We do not know, and we have some ability to control it, and we can control it by being positive. What can you do? Be really careful about your self-talk and just the way you process things. Be careful about the way you process things. And how can you make the best of it? Well, exactly this. Like, you got some things in your life that you can really look at, and we see it, like your son's school, your job, your husband's job situation. Like, I know what some of them are, right? I don't know what all of them are, but I know what some of them are. Plus, you're separated from your parents, your family, way far away. Like, I think that's hard too. And when we look at all of this, all 3 of these cards sort of say a similar thing. And like, this is some bullshit. You got a bunch going on in your life that you could really look at and say, this is some bullshit. And I think sometimes you got to call it what it is. And I think that while we have to, like, notice we've got 2 sevens and a king. 7 is about what you do internally. And so you have to be careful to, like, I think that you try to be very proactive about avoiding difficulty. And like, what bad thing could happen and how do I protect against that? So you try to be very protective, but sometimes you can be over worried and hyper vigilant. And so you have to be careful about that. I think it's all in how you manage risk in your mind. Oh my gosh, 7 of Swords is your birthday card too. I don't like that card, but it always comes up as what I should do. And so I have to think what you should do is trust yourself more. Trust yourself and trust that things can work out well. Trust that good things can happen. Like, I think we all need, not just you, but all of us, need to have the right balance of paranoia and pronoia, where, okay, really bad things could happen, but also really good things could happen. And we need to keep that in balance. And I think that would help. All right. I-me. Downward spirals in love and career. But you know what? It can come up as quickly as it went down. Be open to good things. Really. Okay. Martha Vanks, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Love spirals is a powerful symbol. Such an ancient gift. Yeah. In fact, you'll love this, Martha. And Martha's in a meeting, but she'll get it later. Those of you know, Martha was like best friends with my mom when my mom was alive. And Martha and I have been friends for a very long time, too. And one of the things I inherited from my mom was a T-shirt with a spiral on it. Like, how cool is that? Okay. Yeah, Ness, no, you are not responsible for everything that happens to you. No, you didn't create it. Oh, Martha, you're up next, but I have to, full face. Please forgive. Here it goes. Ness, I always think that I'm responsible for everything that happens to me. This is not just you. It's a lot of people, and it happens even on a spiritual level. Like, why did I attract that? How did I attract that? Julie James, I like it. FFM, it's a full face moment. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So what happens then when a bad thing happens, we're not only reacting to the bad thing, but we're also swearing at ourselves for causing it. So we make it worse. So yeah, no, do not blame yourself for the bad things that happened, right? There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. That's for all of us. All right, here we go, Martha. I'm at a meeting and can't watch now. My question is, the actions of the administration have me spiraling down. You and a lot of people. What do the cards suggest I do to switch my direction and spiral upward? Focus on what you can do. You know, that is the bottom line. What can you do? We recognize, you know, we recognize that there's a lot of people who are really in support of what's going on. There's a lot of people who are in support of some things, but not all. And there's a lot of people who are terrified. Okay, we got that. The question is, what can you do? And here's the problem. You need to, you being who you are, you being Martha Evank, you being Reverend Martha Evank, you must approach this in a way that says, I need to get to work. I need to do something. What can I do? I mean, the interesting thing about these two cards is these are clearly the two cards of work. Got to get to work. And they're both reversed. So you figure out, you know, is it the 5 Calls app? Is it working with your ecumenical ministerial group? Is it, I know you have to be careful what you say from the pulpit, but where do you do the work of the activist? That's what you need to do. And recognize that it is enough. There it is. Yeah, no, Justine, this is why I have a major issue with intentionality in the law of attraction. It doesn't sit right with me anymore because fundamentalists have ruined it. Fundamentalist thinking is bad, 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 no matter how you slice it. We always think about fundamentalism in terms of Christianity, but it shows up everywhere. And so fundamentalists have ruined LOA by believing that, well, if I want it, I can just have it, and that's how it works. Yeah, no, that is not how it works. All right. Justine, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a moderator. We appreciate you. Glad you're here. How do I break out of my rut downward spiral I've been in for so long now? What can I do differently to solve the problems involved with breaking out of the rut? All right. And I know it's harder, like the longer something goes on, the harder it feels to get out. Jolie James, right. You're on it. You see it. You see it. You see it. All right. So, Justine, I think first of what the first thing you have to do is be confident. You have to be confident that you can. And I think that's the whole reason it hasn't happened yet, is because you're not confident. And I think that's kind of the whole issue. You don't know how to be confident given the current circumstances, but even in different circumstances, confidence is your thing. Like, you will always talk yourself out of your confidence. If you can find your confidence, that's your first step. That's what you need. Just be confident. And like, here's what I'm going to say about confidence. And this is, okay, this is like, I'm sure of this. When it comes to confidence, you have to fake it till you make it. Pretend you're confident. Say, well, what would I do if I were confident about this? And do that thing. That's how you get there. If you actually wait until you're actually confident, you're never going anywhere anytime. But if you act like you're confident, even when you're not, you'll get somewhere. All right. Jolie James, so good to see you. Thanks for being a moderator. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Instead of spiraling out or down, I'm spiraling through. The only way out is in. I like that. What do I need to strengthen my spiral thought? Well, you're going into the storm, and if you're going to do it, you have to do it. And you're right. You're right. Go into the storm. It doesn't have to suck, and it may not suck as bad as you think it's going to, and it will get you to exactly where you need to go. So I think you're right. Oh, Rebecca, Tarot of Trees has a lot of spirals. Nice. Okay, Liz Harrison. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. We appreciate you. I would love anything the cards might have for me regarding this subject. Liz, the thing is, you've gone through a major, major, major change. Is this not a great death card? You have gone through a major, major, major change. And you don't like conflict, but it's a change that has created a lot of conflict. Do not be afraid of the conflict. Do not be afraid of the conflict. It's all right. You can stand it. Do not be afraid of it. Fear, no conflict. All right. Okay. Okay, Arbava. I think my spiraling is a steady in one place, come to think of it, kind of stuck. The one would imagine, but somehow it's ugly, but it's okay. Yeah. So what I would say about this is, yes, I concur that you're sort of in this stuck place. And it is okay, and you can be there. But if you want to come out of it, the way to come out of it is through communication. And it's through doing something swiftly and differently than what you've done before. And logical thinking. And I think you're a pretty logical person. So that too. All right. DH, so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. I love to see this. I feel like I'm in an upward spiral. Yay. Moving quickly. What does the universe want me to know about that? There will be at least one person who tries to come bring you down. Do not let them. Do not let them. Stay with your helpful people. And do not let anyone come and try to piss in your Cheerios. Because, yes, you are. Oh, Arbova, pretty much every reading is rich with gems, no matter who it's for. Love that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's why group reading sessions are so valuable. Okay, scrolling through. Febborn, I saw your message. Yes. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Influx now being abused by the Florida person. Yeah. Good news is that Mother has called everyone to make peace. All right. All right. I don't know if I'm going to do a reading on that. Maybe there's another question coming, but I'm going to do a reading on that, which is, we cannot expect, we can expect peace. We cannot expect lasting peace. That's the thing. We can expect peace during transition, but we cannot expect lasting peace. But that's not new. You've known that all along. Oh, Liz, thank you. I seem to be pulling the death card quite a bit, but understanding to not fear it. Well, yeah, your son's in college now. It makes sense. It makes sense. Lots of change. Lots of change. Okay, I see your actual question, Arbova, and we'll get there. Yes. Okay. Oh, Melissa, I'm just seeing your feedback. It's a pivotal moment, and I'm grateful for the downward spiral that has opened my eyes to this. Oh, I'm so sorry. And Mix You Here, thanks for being a member, not a question, but a village request. Okay, villagers, everybody, just found out a friend of mine is dying and not likely to survive. Her cancer is back. I'm so sorry. Please send her ease and peace so her crossing is as peaceful and painless as possible, of course. Of course. Okay. Okay. TJ in GA. TJ in GA. Thank you. All right. Is the opportunity going to open for me to move to the cabin I've dreamt of for years? Well, that would be a nice spiral up, wouldn't it? I think eventually, yes. Maybe not in this moment, but eventually, yes. Joyce Ocean, I actually used that word spiral when I was talking to Jada. She had been going steadily down, and yesterday she arrived back on the upswing. Yeah, we saw that in the cards. I am deeply impacted by the people in my immediate circle. So, and Joyous Ocean, thank you for being a member for more than 2 years, and thanks for using members-only emojis. So my question is, how can I hold space for them and not allow their pull to take me down with ADHD and menopause? It's so easy for me to be redirected, and I want to keep myself focused and going up. Okay. I'm going to say it, Joyous Ocean. I'm going to say it. And please, if I am overstepping, please tell me. It's not just your ADHD and menopause. It's the fact that you've been surrounded by narcissists for most of your life. And when you're raised in a narcissistic environment, you learn to be a people pleaser. You learn to absorb people's stuff. You learn to predict what they're going to do so that you can stay safe. And so you take that into adult life. Like anytime someone identifies as an empath to me, like, yeah, I'm an empath, I'm like, oh, probably abused as a child, right? Narcissistic parent, right? Probably not a psychic gift. Probably a result of trauma. We can use it as a gift now, in a way, but it comes from trauma. So Joyous Ocean, that feels so right. Why? Wow. So Joyous Ocean, why do you absorb so much? Because you were trained for it from freaking birth. And I think you need to know that piece of it to stop doing it. I'll do the reading now. I'll do the reading. Okay. This is really hard. I mean, this is a pivotal moment of truth for you. And Jada is important because your sister is like your mother and Jada is like you. And in your opportunity to sort of be an additional parent to Jada, you are also reparenting yourself. Trace, let me catch my breath since you snatched my pearls and my edges. Yeah, no, I gotcha. It's exhausting, right? Right? So we recognize how big this is. I think that's the first step. You recognize how big it is. You recognize that this is, and I know this is saying a lot given I know your lore. I know a lot of your lore. And I know the losses that you've had. So this is a lot when I say this, but this is one of the biggest things you're ever going to have to heal from, because every other thing emanated from this. So you're going to have to be patient with yourself as you do this. And I think some real energetic work around, it's Siwi's 29th birthday is Saturday, right? And so this is all happening for a reason. Right, 14th birthday in heaven, right? So that's what all of this is, right? And so you have to give yourself space and time, but I think you also have to do the energetic work of protection. You know enough about energy work. You make sprays, for God's sake. Do protective energy so that you don't automatically absorb the things and recognize you have no responsibility to absorb the things. There you go. Okay, Arbova. What's the one thing I should work on that I just don't know about? What should I be working on? Anger and the things that make you angry. The things that make you angry, you probably have every right to your anger. Heal it, process it, and use your anger to spur you forward. So repurpose your anger, if that makes sense. Let me know what you think. Ah, wow. Okay. My friends, Joyce Ocean, I love this village. Yeah, me too. Thank you so much. All right. My friends, I've come to the end of the questions from what I can see. If I accidentally skipped you, please let me know. If you're here but have not yet asked a question, it is last call. We will do the normal sequence of things. Yeah, observe, not absorb. That's a good one. That is very good. All right. We're going to do the normal things, right? I haven't put the links up, but I will. Friday, Saturday, Monday, we'll be here doing readings. 2 classes have gone up. We've got 2 classes plus a members only live stream for March. So mark your calendars for those things. I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. A special shout out to the members and the moderators. If you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, please do. The link is in the description. There is also a link in the description to book a session with me. Please do. Please do. You know you want to. Rebecca, no question, just gratitude. Well, thank you so much. Oh, Joyous Ocean, the new shorts for the signs. Good. Yeah, I have to get the rest of those up, and I will. Thank you very much. Yeah, tarot scopes are up. Make sure you check them out. Take really good care. I will see you soon. Oh, Jolie, thank you. Jolie has dropped the link right here to subscribe to the newsletter. My friends, I appreciate you. Take really good care. Thanks so much.